morning everybody, it's Ian at RTO here. Welcome to Tuesday and welcome to Ladies Day on RTO. All today is about female artists. So we're going to kick off today with ranking the albums of Alanis Morissette. Canadian American singer, songwriter, actress. She's known for that emotive mezzo-soprano voice. Her career actually began in Canada in the 1990s with a couple of mildly successful dance albums, which I don't own. Then she moved to Los Angeles, and that's when it really went well for her. She's released up to date 9 studio albums. I own 7 of them. The only 2 I don't have are the 2 dance ones. I did listen to them, and you'll find out what I really thought of them very, very shortly. So, here we go then. Okay, coming in at number 9 is the debut album released in 1991, purely just called Alanis. What can I say about this except that it's not very good. The only thing that I've got one positive thing to say about it. Even as a young, she wouldn't have been very old when she made this, her voice was very strong. That's all I'll say about it. I'll run through the tracks for you. Feel Your Love, Too Hot, Plastic, yeah, that's well and truly Plastic, Walk Away, On My Own, Superman, Jealous, Human Touch, Oh Yeah, Party Boy. It's just drum machines, that stock Aiken and Walkerman sort of sound, that horrible dirge, plastic music. And to be quite fair, I'm going to give it I'm going to give it the lowest ever ranking that I've ever given, and that's an RTO ranking of 0.5. And the only reason it gets half a point for Alanis turning up and doing this, and it was only released in Canada. Small mercies. It's just not very good. Okay then. Coming in at number 8 is the second album, Now Is the Time, released only in Canada again in 1992. Now, there are some reasonable tracks on here, but there's, and while I'm reasonable, there's 2 tracks, and the rest are the same old dance music. If you're into your dance music, great, but unfortunately I'm not. So we got The Real World and Emotional Away. Then there's a track called Rain, and it's actually quite good. It's a bit more slower pace, and it hasn't got that horrible drum on it. It's a bit more slowed down drum. It's not bad actually, and she sings it really well. The Time of Your Life, this isn't too bad, and this was sort of going in the direction that I think she wanted to go. So the next track, No Apologies, Can't Deny, When We Meet Again, Give What You've Got, Change Is Never a Waste of Time. In your case, Alanis, it was. Big Bad Love. Again, more pop garbage. So glad that she changed direction, or we wouldn't have had some great songs. But there are these half 2 decent tracks on this one. So I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 2 out of 10. Okay, that's the rubbish out of the way. Everything in from here, I like. Even though the one at number 7, it's at number 7, I do like it. It was very hard because they're all of us. Some of them are there's more poppy, rocky, but I do love her voice. So let's get cracking onto the proper stuff then. Okay, coming in at number 7, we have the 8th album. It was a 6 worldwide. It was first released in Japan, believe it or not. It was released in 2012, and it's Havoc and Bright Lights. On here, Alanis Morissette. Got drums shared between Matt Chamberlain and Victor Indrizzo. Percussion by Victor Indrizzo. Bass is between Paul Bushnell and Sean Hurley. Keyboards on here are provided by Jeff Babaco, Joe Shirakaleli, Zach Ray and Guy Sigsworth. Electric guitars are Clarice Elms, David Levetta, Tim Pearce and Lyle Workman. And some acoustic guitar by Mike Daly, Chris Elms and Tim Pearce. Chikari and Sigworth do a lot of the writing on this album. First track, Guardian. Great riff in this. I like this track a lot. Excellent stuff. Woman Down, it's a little bit poppy, but it's reasonable. It's certainly a lot better than the early pop stuff. Then we get a track called Till You. Great vocal from Alanis on this. She's got this is such a soothing song. It proves that she can bellow it out as good as the next person, but on this one it's very delicate and it's really good. Celebrity, it's okay, it's a little bit disjointed in places. Empathy, radio friendly track, but it's still a good track. Then we get Lens, my favourite track. It's a real proper rock track, this is. It's got a great riff in this, and this is typical Alanis Morissette rock music. Really good. Spiral, it's okay. Not one of the best tracks on the album, but it has got a really good riff in it, which saves its grace. Havoc, solid song. Fine performance by Alanis Morissette. Singing, as I say, she's got a good pair of lungs on her, and that was a very good song. Win Win, it's neither a rock song or a pop song, but it's pleasant enough. Receive, very solid track, excellent song. And then The Edge of Revolution ends the album, and I'm not particularly keen on it. It's a bit too poppy for me, but you know, there are some good tracks on this album. It's a bit commercial in places, a bit poppy, but you know, we thought, oh, she's going back towards that poppy sound, and she didn't. Thank you very much. But I'll still give it an RTO ranking of 5.5 because it has got some really good songs on it. Okay, coming in at number 6. 6th album, released in 2004, So Called Chaos. Of course, it's Alanis Morissette on the vocals and the piano and keyboards, Eric Avery on the bass, Kenny Arnoff on drums, Paul Bushnell on bass, and Jamie Murrabach on keyboards. First song, 8 Easy Steps. It's got a bit of that 60s vibe to it in places, a little bit different, and quite an enjoyable track. Out is Through, really good track. A lot of acoustic guitar in this one. And then you get the electric coming in just on top of it. It's a typical Alanis Morissette rap track, which I enjoy. Excuses, another good track. Really catchy hook on this. It really gets your feet tapping. Doth I Protest Too Much? My second favourite track on the album. This is it, just solid rock track and a great vocal performance from Alanis. Then we got Knees of My Bees, nice catchy tune. I do love the drumming in this. It's really, really solid and strong. Then we get this title track, So Called Chaos. I love this. The percussion is really good. It's got that Indian drum, and I can't remember the name of the drum. If I do, I'll tell you. I know what it's called, but it's one of those things that's on the tip of your tongue. But it's a really good track. Not Me At All. It's okay. Not the best one on the album, but it's listenable. The Grunge. I like this track. It's quite gentle in places, and Alanis's powerful voice carries this song really well. Spineless, great rocker, absolutely out the top drawer, great riffing and guitar work. Best song on the album. Everything. This is a indifferent song. The arrangement is good, but the drums don't sound very good on this, and it sort of spoils the track. Reasonable album this one is, of course. I do like this one. There are some filler on it though, but the tracks that are the good tracks are very good, and I'll give it an RTO ranking of 6 out of 10. I do believe that I am starting to get bunged up again. Oh dear. So I do apologise if I start sounding a bit right. Coming in at number 5 is the 9th and most current album, released last year on the 31st of July. Such Pretty Forks in the Road. First studio album in 8 years since Havoc and Bright Lights in 2012. So this is like a comeback album. Been very quiet, and a very good album it is. Alanis Morissette, obviously. Alex Hope does guitars and synths and marxophone. Michael Farrell plays the piano and synths. Catherine Marks, who does a lot of writing with her now, programming and string arrangements. Adam Bartlett, acoustic guitar. Victor Indrizzo back on the drums. Tyler Last on bass. Then Steve Milbourne does some acoustic guitar. Then you got David Lavetta back again, and Chris J. Alderson on guitars, and Cedric Laymore does some bass as well. First track, Smiling. Really great track to open up this album. Goes back to them early mid-90s sounding track. Very, very good. Ablaze. Great track again, very good rocker. Again, Alanis' voice as strong as ever, hasn't faltered in her absence from the music scene. Absolutely on top form. Reasons I Drink, my favourite track. Love the piano at the beginning of this. It's just got such a catchy tune. Then it goes into this great track, damn good track. Alanis at her best. Fourth track, Diagnosis. Again, solid track. Got some fantastic string arrangements on this. Truly a good song. Missing the Miracle. Solid track. Nice arrangement. Catherine Marks doing some more orchestral arrangements on it. Very good. Losing the Plot. This is what I like about Alanis Morissette. She does these simple songs. On this one you just got a piano, a bit of drum, you got a bit of keyboards coming through, and her singing. Lovely song. Reckoning, solid track, really good beat to it. Sandbox Love, pleasant song. It's not brilliant, it's not bad, it's very pleasant. Her, another really great song. Lovely vocal from Alanis, proving that she's still a force to be reckoned with. Nemesis, again, it's just one of them very simple songs. Piano, bit of strings, Alanis singing a very solid vocal, a little bit of guitar coming through, and some nice steady drums. Really, really good. Last track on the trial, Pedestal, solid song to end the album. This is a great comeback album. I do like the string arrangements. Catherine Marks did a fantastic job on this. She wrote some great songs as well. It just shows that she's still got a strong presence in the rock world and music. And I'll give this an album an RTO ranking of 6.5. Okay, coming in at number 4, we have the 5th album, released in 2002, Under Rug Swept. On here we've got, of course, Alanis Morissette. We've got 3 guitarists making an appearance on this: Nick Lashley, Joe Shearer, Tim Thorney. Dean Leo does a couple of tracks. Jamie Murrabach's back on the keyboards, and Mark Stevens piano and keyboards. Okay, first track, 21 Things I Want in a Lover. I love this track. One of my favourite tracks by her. It's a driving rock riff and a brilliant way to start the album. Narcissus, a little bit different. There's a lot of drum machine in this, but it's used to best. What I mean by that is it's okay, it's a drum machine, you can tell, but it doesn't sound like a drum machine. I'm sure you understand why. It's a bit confusing, but you know what I mean. So it really is good. Hands Clean, great track, solid. Flinch, bit lackluster in this one, needs something else to give it a bit of oomph. So Unsexy, that's alright. Precious Illusions, another strong track, nice riff to this and a catchy hook. Great vocal as ever. That Particular Time, one of those really good slow songs from Alanis. Powerful voice comes through again. A Man, again, one of them little bit different, but it's that riff that holds this song together, keeps coming in and out of the track at a regular pace, and it just, when you think the song's going nowhere, in comes that riff and it holds it together brilliantly. Oh You Owe Me Nothing in Return, it's okay, bit middle of the road for me. Surrendering, excellent track. Utopia, bit of mandolin on this, it's alright. Very good album, pleasant album to listen to. Bit of different kinds of music on here, bit experimentational in places, some great rock stuff, some nice acoustics and ballads. Good album all round, and I give it an RTO ranking of 6.6. Okay then, number 3 is the 7th album, released in 2008, Flavours of Entanglement. On here we have Alanis Morissette, Andy Page playing guitars, Blair Sinta on drums, Peter Freeman on the bass. Citizen of Planet, it's got that Indian drum, and it's called, is it the Marijidam? Sounds really good, and it does add to this track. I knew I'd remember it. It just adds to that track. Very, very good. Underneath, again, the percussion is a little bit different, but it does add to the track and make it a very good track. Straight Jacket, quite poppy. It's got like an electronic sort of bass line to it. It's alright. Versions of Violence, this is a mixture of rock and pop together, and it actually works. Very solid track. Not As We Are, again, one of them lovely piano and Alanis singing, outstanding. In the Praise of the Vulnerable Man, not the best track on the song. Mortatorium, my favourite track on the album. It's just, again, it's a bit of piano and Alanis sounding absolutely on fire. Brilliant. Torch, again, great track, nice piano work, great guitar solo in this, fantastic. Giggling the Game for No Reason, a little bit poppy again, but I think what really helps this is the funky guitar. I like a bit of funky guitar, and that works well on that one. Tapes, one of them nice gentle tracks from Alanis Morissette. Great guitar work on it though, fantastic. Incomplete, one of them tracks that goes, it's one of them that goes from nice quiet into a heavy rock track, vice versa, and it keeps that, it just flows like that all the way through. Very, very good track. This is probably the best album of the later ones, I think, without a doubt. It's a very mature album from her. She's got the balance of the rock and pop very well, and in some cases she mixes it in that, they mix it in the whole song, which makes it so good. Very mature album, and I'll give it an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay, top 2. Boy, this was hard. These are my favourite go-to albums of Alanis Morissette. In the end, I went with my gut feeling on this. So coming in at number 2 is the 4th album, released in 1998, supposed former Infatuation Junkie. This is a brilliant album. The follow-up to the most successful one, which we'll talk about in a minute, of course. On here we've got Alanis Morissette, plays a bit of flute, harmonica, the piano. She takes photos and she produces. What an all-round girl she is. Glenn Ballard on the synthesizers, guitars, piano, programming. Beaumont Tench plays the organ. I had to be careful how I said that. Gary Novak does some drums. Joel Shearer's back on the guitar, like Nick Lashley, and Chris Chaney is the bass player. First track, Front Row. I love this. It's just vocal, very harmonious, very good track. A lot of people don't like that. I do. I just like how clever it is. Then we got Baba. Great song, classic song from Alanis Morissette. Those driving riffs, great performance vocally, and that heavy riff is just fantastic. Then we get the Thank You. I love this song. I love the video to it as well. Okay, everybody likes this one, and there's a reason for it, because it's a damn good song. I just love it. Then we get another song I love, Are You Still Mad? Classic song from Alanis. I just love the arrangement, and her vocal is so good on this. Sympathetic character, a little bit grungy here. She goes for a bit of grunge, nothing wrong with that, but she's got a great voice, so she carries well. What would be good? Nice song, but it's just lacking something. It needs something a little bit extra. The Couch, it's just lacking something again. It just doesn't sound right. Them 2 tracks are the worst tracks on the album, because they're just lacking something. Can't Not, it's alright. Then you got Your, nice little tune. Love the guitar work in this, very good. I Was Hoping, great rock track. It's atmospheric, really good track. One, the arrangement in this on the keyboards is really great. It just adds the atmosphere and that extra layer that some of the other tracks needed. They come up with something there, and it really does build that track into something good. Would Not Come, again, an interesting drum sound, but it works. Guitar work is just brilliant. Atmospheric again. Unsent, another pleasant track. The nice acoustic guitars, and you get little bits of electric coming in. Nice keyboard, and the strings arrangement's good on it. It's really, really good. So Pure, great rock track. Just what you need. Good driving rock song. Joining You, another powerful vocal from Alanis with some driving riffs. You can't get any better than that. Heart of the House, great drumming on this. It's done on brushes. It's jazzy, a little bit jazzy, that drumming on this, but it just works well for this track. Your Congratulations, violin, piano, Alanis, and equals a fantastic song. Very simple arrangement, perfect. This is the longest album that she put out, but the length doesn't matter. You've got one or two out of the 17 songs. There's about 3 that are not the best, but when you put out a long album, you're not going to get perfect albums, but the other songs are just fantastic, and I really enjoy this album, and I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. So coming in at number 1, it's a bit obvious. Third studio album, released in 1995. Her first album that she released worldwide, and it was the one that really made her just a star. It's Jagged Little Pill, of course. Okay, everyone loves this. Even I do. There's a reason, as I say. Popular albums, if everyone loves it, there is a reason, because it's a damn good album. Got some fantastic tracks on here. It opens up, of course, of I Really Wanna Know. I love the guitar work in that track. Brilliant. You Ought to Know, lovely song. Great vocal from Alanis on this. Hand in My Pocket. Okay, it's a song that's played to death, but it's a song that I like. I don't mind listening to this. Okay, I don't play this album very often, but when I do play it, I really enjoy it. Then we get my favourite track on the album, Right Through You. It starts very slow and builds up into this great rock track, and then it eases back into the gentle side. Fantastic. Forgiven, great vocal from Alanis, really stretches her range in this song. Fantastic song. Again, You Learn, solid track. There's so many hits on this album, and it's just a great song. Head Over Feet, classic song, but I love it. This has got one of my guilty pleasures of popular rock albums. Mary Jane, second favourite track on here. Mary Jane is. I love the guitar work in it. It's so nice. Then we do get a track that it's overplayed, and if I never hear this one again, I won't get upset about it. It's ironic. Loved it at the time, but now it just grates on me a little bit. But I can't deny what a good song it is, and it's a great video. Not the Doctor, love this. Simple song, works so well. Wake Up, nice little song. One of the weaker tracks on the album, but I still like it. And it ends, if you've got the CD, there's a hidden track. So a cappella version of Your House. This is just Alanis singing, nothing, just her. There's not many people that can get away with this and do it well. Alanis Morissette does. This reminds me so much like some of Janis Joplin's songs. The Mercedes Benz. It's just brilliant. What a way to end an album. Okay, I've gone with the flow with this one. There is a reason. When this came out, I was having a. It was one of my low points of my life. Everyone gets them now and again, but this sort of album sort of got me through it, and that's why it's a special album. And I think if I'm a bit down in the dumps, even now, I'll pop this on because it just lifts me. There's so many good songs on. Okay, it's near enough a greatest hits album, but everyone has to have an album that lifts them, and this is one of mine. So I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 9.5. Okay, I mean, I do like, it's a bit different for me, a bit of Alanis Morissette. And I've got my favourite album happens to be the most successful album she made, but it's still good. And on an honourable mention, there is a acoustic album of this album as well, and that's great as well. It was one of them albums that really worked as an acoustic version as well. So that's how good this album is. When you can play it release it as just a acoustic version of the album, and it still sounds as good and a good quality. What more can you say? Okay, we'll be back later with retro ranking, and today it is the fantastic queen of rock and pop, Tina Turner. So I'll be back for that later. I'll see you all later, and I'll try and sort out my bunged up nose. Bye for now.